LeBron, you know how hard it is to go to one finals and everything that goes into it. You will go to your sixth straight. Of what are you most proud?
I don't know, Doris. I've heard all the questions, and that right there is a stumper. I'm just very humbled and gracious that the man above has given me an opportunity to play the game that I love. And I get to go out here and do it every single night in front of my fans. It is very emotional, you know, just to be a part of something like this. This is my sixth straight, and it means everything.
That was an emotional LeBron James after winning Game 6 over the Raptors and heading back to the finals. He'll be just the 8th player to appear in 8 straight in NBA history. Very impressive. Skip, how do you feel about the way LeBron handled the win in Game 6?
Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James has often surprised me great in bad ways. I got to tell you, I was stunned by his reaction because I fully expected LeBron James to keep his game face on, and no matter what Doris Burke asked him right after the game, he would say that nothing else matters except the next step, that this was nice, but we have to remain focused on the next series because just winning the East, Doris, will be meaningless unless we win the NBA Finals. That's what I thought I would hear from LeBron because that's what you would usually hear from the superstar leader of a team that had just won either conference finals. Instead, we just saw LeBron, again, get emotional, teared up. His voice started to crack when Doris asked him about what are you most proud of in your 6 straight trips to the NBA Finals. And look, I want to be very clear about this, Stephen A. Leading 6 straight teams to NBA Finals is an amazing achievement. I take 0 away from that. But LeBron shocked me by embracing this moment and this individual achievement right now. Because to me, he came out of that, then he snapped completely out of it, and he led his team in a celebration that felt like they had just won the NBA Finals instead of just beating Detroit and Atlanta and Toronto in the East. I'll say it again. I believe that LeBron James has had the easiest superstar path to an NBA Finals I can ever remember. It was shameful to me that they lost those 2 games at Toronto because Toronto has no business even being on the same floor with Cleveland in a playoff series. Neither did Detroit, neither did Atlanta. So now, why was this reaction? I have 2 theories. It's possible that on Friday night, LeBron James thought they were going to play Oklahoma City. I sure did. You did. And it's possible that LeBron was just supremely confident because he thinks he can beat Kevin Durant and company because he did it once before. It's also possible that because his 2 co-stars are supremely healthy right now and because he has a coach that he loves and trusts as opposed to David Blatt, that he's supremely confident against either of the Western teams at this point. But it's also, and I have to throw this out, this is my 2 cents, it's also possible that LeBron just fears he'll fall, and this is something you've expressed on the show, that he'll fall to 2-5 in NBA Finals, and that he wanted to just stop and smell the roses before people potentially start to fixate on the fact that he's lost 5 of the 7 finals he's played in. It's just possible that he sat back and said, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the ride right now. I'm going to embrace this, and I don't really care about the next round because it's a beautiful thing that God has blessed me to get this far 6 straight times, so I'll embrace it. And I don't have a huge problem with it, but Stephen A., I was shocked by it because I didn't see that coming from LeBron James.
Well, I think it's a couple of things that you have to pay attention to here, Skip. Number one, people think the road is when you're LeBron James and you don't have the relationships with teammates similar to what you have with your brother, Dwayne Wade, for example. It's a lot of work that goes into that to build a level of trust, chemistry, camaraderie work through some of the things that could inhibit your road to success, etc. And when you finally feel like you've closed in on that journey by capturing a sixth consecutive Eastern Conference crown, it means a great deal. And me personally, a lot of people, you know, Twitter and beyond have gotten on me, you know, I love LeBron James and, you know, I give him too much of a pass, whatever. They can kick rocks, you know, and I'm only saying it that way because we're on national television. I'd be a lot worse if we were in person, because I think that people like that don't appreciate what this man is, what he means to the game of basketball. I don't know LeBron that well personally. I certainly don't hang out with him or anything like that. But I appreciate, more so than greatness, great people, meaning great players who don't cheat the game. I look at a LeBron James, and yeah, he's in the Eastern Conference, so the road to the finals is easier than it would be in the West. And chances are, if he was in the Western Conference, there's no way in hell he'd go to 6 consecutive NBA finals. But at the same time, think about what teams are without him, and then think about what they are once he arrives. And that speaks to his greatness. But then we also have to acknowledge, why is he so great? It's because he never cheats the game. He's consistently working out. He consistently keeps himself in peak condition. He consistently goes about the business of preparing himself for whatever challenges may come. So he makes sure that he's prepared to live up to expectations, which is why he's religiously averaging better than 25, 7, and 6. And so when I look at that, and I look at a star that's making max dollars and has a sneaker deal that can net him over $500 million, along with other endorsement opportunities, this man has every license and every excuse under the sun to rest on his laurels, sit back, chill, and prioritize everything above winning. But he doesn't do that. He prioritizes going for it. He prioritizes, to him, it's about being on that mission every day of playing in June. From the time that October comes and the season comes around, throughout an 82-game schedule, he misses minimal amount of games. He religiously averages better than 35 minutes per night. He knows he's the headliner in every city he goes into, and he answers the bell. Jordan did that. Kobe did that. When Dwayne Wade is healthy, he does that. Kevin Durant to a lesser degree, but still does it. Russell Westbrook to a lesser degree, but still does it. Chris Paul does it. When you guys like that, you know, I'm a fan of the show Scandal, Skip, and I love me some Olivia Pope, Kerry Washington, and her father, the guy that plays her father, we all know him as Papa Pope. I mean, I think he's a phenomenal actor. And I remember an episode when he looked at her and he said, "You will miss me when I'm gone." And I think about that when I think about these players, because you don't get what they give. In other words, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people out there. They don't get it. There are plenty of guys. I'm not going to mention them because I'm in a good mood and I don't feel like diming anybody out. But there are plenty of guys that have made their money who are all about continuing to make their money. But they don't prepare themselves for the challenge of having to win day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. LeBron James is one of those rare breeds. You can never look at him and say that the effort wasn't there and the commitment wasn't there to strive to win. And I'm going to say this, Skip. I don't know who's going to win the finals. I'll make my prediction when it's time. But I'll tell you this. You'll be hard-pressed to find but so many people who won't be rooting for LeBron. Because when you see that level of greatness, you don't wish 5 NBA Finals losses on this man's resume when you see the level of dedication that he gives to the game. These are ambassadors. It's what they're supposed to be. And LeBron James personifies that, and I appreciate him for that.
Okay, that's all valid, big picture perspective. But I want you to step back again and think about, in the same context that you just offered, what he did the other night was the antithesis of everything that you just built him up to be. Hard working, giving everything, every day, every dribble. I got to tell you, like if we're going to do the Jordan comparison, I know it's unfair, Michael Jordan wouldn't have let his team celebrate an Eastern Conference victory, a championship of the East. He just wouldn't allow it. It would have been game face on. I know I was there. They had a battle royal with Reggie Miller's team. Do you remember that in Indiana in the conference finals that year? But when it was over, it was on to one more step. And it came across to me that LeBron was celebrating an individual achievement, 6 straight finals, which is, again, it's celebratable. But is that the right thing to do? Did you help or hurt your team going forward to help you win another finals instead of lose a 5th finals?
Well, again, when I compare LeBron to a Kobe or MJ or whatever, I'm only speaking of effort. Like, to me, I revered Kobe. It wasn't because of his greatness. It was because I personally knew that Kobe would get up at 5 in the morning, 2 weeks after winning a championship, and be back at it working.
Okay.
And so I appreciate the work. The same thing, you know this about Jordan. But obviously, LeBron doesn't compare to them in terms of their championships and their winning record in championships. And in the case of Jordan, I would ask you to stop in any way comparing LeBron or decrying comparisons to Jordan, because you have to remember, Jordan could afford to be that way because he never lost. LeBron knows how it feels to lose in the finals. He's lost 4 times.
I got it.
So he's going to appreciate it. Jordan can't comprehend it because Jordan never lost.
Okay, I got it.
So, of course, they would be different.
LeBron said, I'm going to stop and smell the roses. And
because he's lost, so he knows what it's like. So he's got to smell the roses. Jordan was like, hell no. I'm not trying to smell it. I smell the roses when it's time. Because I never lost, and I don't want to know what it's like to lose.
Yeah.
All right, so if the Warriors win tonight, Game 1 Thursday will be at Oracle. If the Thunder win, it'll be at the Q. In either scenario, it'll be Thursday on ABC. When we return, a trip to the finals might not be the only thing on the line for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tonight, the future of Kevin Durant may be as well. We get into it after the break.